Hello, welcome everybody. I'm just making sure that I'm recording on two different screens. So welcome to our Mindful Mandala moments. This is my first online workshop here for Headspace. So really excited, and we're hoping that lots of people can access this recording and experience what we're experiencing today. So I'm Sarah, and with me is Jules, and we both work at Headspace. Hi, Jules.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'll be answering any questions if Sarah misses them and managing the chat.
Yeah.
Over to you,
Cool.
Sarah.
Thanks, Jules. So we thought with this first bit, I'll be doing a little bit of some mindfulness and a little bit on how to create a mandala, and then we'll open it up for some chat afterwards. The main thing you need is a bit of paper. Any kind of paper will do. If you've got watercolor paper, it's always beautiful, but any paper. And this is one of my favorite pens. It's a Uniball pen. Love their black ink, but any black pen will do. And then great if you've got something to color it with afterwards. I just like these really cheap watercolor paints from Big W, Kmart, Spotlight, but you can use color pencils, textures, whatever you've got. Fantastic. That's all I need to do. So I thought, because we're in the middle of quarantine, or our whole life has been turned upside down, there's a little bit of that collective anxiety about what's happening in the world and where our life is at, and what can we do when all our routines have changed and the strategies that we use. I thought we'd use today to create a mandala for our well wishes, like our wishes for and our hopes for ourselves and for others, both for now but also a little bit in the future. So easy when we get stressed to go down that path of negative thinking. We become quite narrow with our thinking. So I personally love being creative and doing mindfulness to kind of open up my thinking to being a bit more positive. And this is what we're going to be looking at doing. So I actually quite like doing a black and white mandala where I don't even colour it. And I added in with this one some words as well as the shapes. Yours is going to look completely different. Every time I do it, it looks different. So it's going to be pretty intuitive, pretty spontaneous. I also wanted to show you another example with black pen, where you can create a bit of colour behind it, whether you do that with watercolour or with pencils, or you just grab a bit of coloured paper. And I wanted to show you one of my most favourite examples. You'll see mandalas everywhere, but this is one on a rock. So if you wanted to get truly creative, you can make one on a rock. But to get started, firstly, I thought we'd just do a short visualization. So you can do this just looking down at the ground or at your feet if you feel comfortable doing that, or you can close your eyes. Closing your eyes can help to just reduce some of that stimulation that's outside and go inward. So just taking a couple of longer, slower, deeper breaths, allowing your body to settle into the chair, being aware of your feet on the floor, your back and your shoulders settling back a little bit with each breath. Being aware of any sensations inside and outside of your body, and anything you can hear outside in the room or outside of the room. So when you're ready, I want you to imagine that you're standing on a beautiful circle of light, some kind of colour. You can choose whatever colour you can imagine. And that going out from this circle of light are all these wishes you might have for other people. It might be, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you be well, may you be peaceful. And it might even help to imagine the people you're sending these well wishes out to. some loved ones, some people that you really enjoy being with. Just imagine this colour spreading out to them with these well wishes of, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you be well, may you be peaceful. And then imagine these people that you know and like sending these well wishes back to you. Could be the same colour or a different colour. And they're saying to you, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you be well, may you be peaceful. And then imagine this colour encircling all the people you know and care about, all the pets you know and care about, and you in this circle of colour, this broadened, expansive circle of colour. And imagine everybody saying to each other, may we be safe, may we be healthy, may we be well, may we be patient, may we be peaceful. And in your mind's eye, you might want to start creating some patterns in this circle of colour, or some words that represent these well wishes. There might be certain symbols, patterns, colour, words. Imagine visualising and building a mandala on the ground. Maybe like one of those chalk mandalas, if you've seen one of them, or a sand mandala. And you might have certain lines or symbols representing things that are important to you. Sunsets, moon rises, the rain, the ocean, birds, animals, hugs, good conversations. Just imagine creating a mandala that's representing all that you wish for yourself and for others, both now and into the future. It's almost like we're programming our brain to focus on what we want more of in our lives, focusing on the positives, what we want to grow more of. You might be surprised by what comes to you. And if your brain wanders off and thinks about other things, that's totally okay. That's what brains do. So be very gentle with your mind and just say, hey, come on back here for a bit. Keep focusing on the mandala. Then when you're ready, just gently wriggling your toes and your fingers. Take some deeper breaths, rolling your shoulders, stretching, and coming back into the room. Just checking in with yourself. How are you feeling at the moment? What came to you? What did you notice? And I'm really keen to share that at the end, but we might just, while we're in this space, dive into the mandala. So if you've got a coloured bit of paper, you can use that. If you've got a white bit of paper, you can use that. And sometimes we can get really structured with our mandalas. It can be very symmetrical and we can use rulers. But today I really wanted to be very intuitive and just begin from the centre and move outward. So what I always do is start with a dot in the middle. It can be as big or as small as you like. So I've actually got one that I prepared earlier for colour, and I actually decided to do a really large circle in the middle, and I'm going to leave that very spacious. So that space might indicate uncertainty or not knowing, or I don't know, it can indicate whatever you like. And with this one that I'm doing, the black and the white one without the colour underneath it yet, I'm just starting with a spot in the middle. And then from there, you choose a symbol that might have come to you in the meditation, or it might be something you're comfortable with. And you begin with that symbol. It can be as big or as small as you like, but you're going to repeat that symbol going all the way around the dot. So for me, something that kept coming was the flame of a candle. So I'm just going to be doing the symbol that to me represents the flame of a candle. And I'm moving my board around as I do it. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. And it's quite a meditative, contemplative thing to do, because you just keep repeating the same symbol going round. It can be, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just about going with what feels right. And an artist friend of mine said, every mistake is a happy accident. So if it doesn't look like how you want it to look like, what can you turn it into? How can it change? What can you do? And you can choose whether you shade some of these with pure black, or you might choose to shade it with some kind of, if you've done Zentangle before, Zentangle can be a great, you could choose to shade it with lines, curly lines, stripes, diamonds, circles, so you add in a bit more colour. And you can also start to think if there are any words there that you want to use in your mandala. And so then we keep moving from there and choose our next shape that we want to use. So another symbol that came to me during my visualization there was the ocean. I'm just loving the spaciousness and the expansiveness of the ocean. So I'm adding in some wavy lines. And again, no one else needs to know what these mean, but to me, they mean the ocean. It's something important to me. And I'm especially aware of my friends who are stuck in the city and they can't get to the ocean. They can't get to see that beautiful expansiveness. So I'm kind of sending them some of my well wishes for some of the beautiful healing energy of the ocean. And you might notice that it's not looking that symmetrical, and that's totally okay. We're going very, very organic here. And it's not about the finished outcome. For me, whenever I'm making something like this, it's about the process. How am I feeling as I'm doing it? What's going through my body? You might want to tune back into your breath, back into your shoulders, back into your hand gripping the pen. Just bringing all your awareness back to the here and now. It's very easy for our mind to start judging what we're doing, and we can go into that real negative self-talk. So if that happens for you, it's about coming back into what's happening right here. What can I see? What can I hear? What can I feel? So then your next step might be adding in a word. I love putting words into when I'm being creative, but you might want to keep going with the images. You might want to keep going with your symbols. You might want to even try to disguise the words so, you know, they sort of become part of the pattern without it being very obvious. I'm just writing now a little one round the side there. So they're going to be some of my well wishes that I want to add in, not only for me, but for others too. And it might be helpful to actually be thinking of the person that you most have in mind, that you'd love to be sending these well wishes to. When we get quite stressed and anxious, we tend to be very focused in on ourselves. And a really good strategy can be to be thinking about somebody else, not in a worried way, but actually in sending them wishes for peace, wishes to be healthy. And a strategy for me that was given to me once was, instead of sending them your worries, send them a beautiful colour. So you focus all of your mind on sending them a beautiful colour and some well wishes, which just helps you to feel better on the inside. How are you going, Jules, with yours? Ah, beautiful. How are you feeling while you're doing it?
Hey Sarah, I'll just
Hey.
share mine. I don't know if you can see it there.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I'm trying not to judge my work as you have suggested, and I'm sure
That's
the others will
self-talk. That's
will
self-talk.
share will share after. But a little bit like you, I saw in when I was doing my mindfulness, not candle, but sort of shooting light. So I sort of started
Ah,
with that, and sort of grew around it.
yeah,
And my color was kind of a pink, so I might color
beautiful.
that a bit later in my own time. But
Yeah,
um, just that sharing love and thoughts for others right now, because
yeah.
sometimes you don't know, like my family, my parents, who live on their own and don't have other family around. So I think
Yes.
that sort of came to my mind. But I'm
And
sure
what
everyone will have something different.
Yeah. And what can be beautiful when you do color it in is if you've had that visualization and then you've got an actual symbol of it, it's beautiful to put it somewhere in your house or as a screensaver on your phone. So it's kind of serves as a visual reminder that instead of going into that worry mode, I can actually, oh yeah, that's right. I'm going to send them some well wishes. May they be safe and healthy. And they've done MRI scans to show that when you're sending well wishes, it lights up a completely different part of your brain. So, yeah.
Wow, that's really
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah. How are you feeling focusing on doing something with your hands?
Really good. It's a nice break actually to be participating in this activity.
Yeah.
I've only ever
Yeah.
done one mandala, so yeah, this is my second one.
Thank you for doing it with me. So it's what I've noticed for myself, but also the research shows that when you're creating something with your hands, whether it's cooking, whether it's gardening, whether it's making, there's less opportunity for those negative thoughts to spiral out of control. So they might still kick in, but they come in slower and almost quieter. So it's a really nice way to, and yoga is another perfect example where you're activating both of your hands, your whole body's getting into it and just slows down that thinking. So it kind of gives you an emotional holiday. So I'm trying to do more of these as a kind of tuning out. Yeah. Cool. So let's keep going and we'll keep layering it up. And what I love is you can keep coming back. So sometimes I want to come right back into the middle and add a little bit more. So you can be super intuitive about it. It doesn't need to be symmetrical. It can be really large. It can be tiny. You might be, as you're going, go, oh, this word's just popped up into my head. I really want to add that in. Or I just remembered my grandmother's favourite symbol. I'd like to put that in. Or something like that. So this is what I've got so far with my words going around. And I'm still thinking, what else am I going to put in there? So it's totally okay to pause for a bit, or you might even want to grab some colour and just start putting colour in while you're waiting for that next little bit of inspiration. Again, notice if you start clenching your pen or tightening up in your shoulders or shortening your breath. Just bring your attention back. I haven't got it on at the moment, but I love listening to music as I'm doing this because that can really help with that staying calm. Maybe listening to the sounds that are around you as you're doing this. And again, you might want to think again about who else is there that you want to send these well wishes to, and who is it in your life that you'd like for them to be sending these well wishes to you. We're often so good about caring for other people, and sometimes we forget to care about ourselves. So it's really important to remember that we need to look after ourselves, and we need to send these well wishes to ourselves too. So I can spend hours on a mandala and at the same time you can create one in 10 minutes. So if you're on a phone call with somebody and you're using headphones or speaker, then you can just grab a pen and start doodling. And the theory with the mandala is it can be this sacred healing circle. And there's something about, because it's symmetrical, you're having to move your bit of paper around and around and around, kind of can really get you into that zone. Sometimes I love actually cutting the bit of paper so it's round. So then you've really got that sense of it spinning on a wheel. Sometimes too, what you can do is actually rip something out of a magazine. So you've got a background. Like if I was going to use this is something I use just with a bit of watercolour, really light watercolour. But you could take an image from a magazine and then do the mandala over the top. I've even got a mandala behind me. I've got a dream catcher mandala. I'm living the mandalas at the moment. So as you're going around, just an opportunity to allow yourself to get absorbed. But again, our minds can kick in with all sorts of stuff. We can worry about something that happened yesterday, or we can start worrying about the future, or we can worry about whether we're doing this right or not. And again, we don't want to try to block those thoughts because often they come back with a vengeance. It's more like we give our minds permission. Just go, all right, mind, no worries. You can keep thinking about that. And part of me is going to be focused right here on the bit of paper, on the pen, on my body, on what I can see, hear, and feel. So we're really hoping that when you finish your mandala, you might be able to share it with us. We'd love to post it. We actually have a really cool Lounge Room's Got Talent going at the moment. Jules, do you want to speak a little bit to that?
Yeah, sure. Just unmuting there. So Headspace have a little competition running to keep everyone entertained. It's called Lounge Room's Got Talent, and really it's just an opportunity for anyone that's 12 to 25 to get a little bit creative, perhaps do a little bit of art or a short film, 1 to 2 minutes, about how you're coping in COVID. So really it's open to your interpretation. Again, like what we're doing here, it doesn't need to be perfect. It's just, releasing and expressing yourself in different ways, and the opportunity to win a little bit of cash at the same time.
What's
so the winner gets $75, and there's a runner-up for $25.
Fantastic.
So you can use that cash voucher to support a local business or buy something online. I don't know. So yeah, it's a bit of fun. So yeah, there's some details on our website, so where you'll be able to see this recording. But yeah, so anyone else that's listening in today?
Yeah, cool. And I'm going to be running some managing anxiety workshops, and you might be online workshops, and you might be doing some yoga. Is that right?
Yeah. So we'll be doing, at the moment we've got Art Space, which is our online art program with our art teacher.
Yeah.
And yoga, and also our Rainbow Youth, which is our LGBTI youth group. So yeah, lots of things happening in the online space with Headspace.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're lucky we've got a lot of people that care and want to support everybody, so that's pretty cool.
And it's so cool having something to do that other than school and other than Netflix.
Yeah, true.
And we're hoping to really encourage a bit of that social interaction too with these online workshops. So I'm thinking to finish our recording, I'll just show you what I've got so far, but I can feel like I'm going to go right out to the edges of the page with this. So I'm going to enjoy finishing it and I'll upload it. You can see it's totally not symmetrical. So I'm thinking, oh, I might try to fit something else in here. Might play with it a little bit. This again is one that I made the other night, and my words in there was curiosity, present, rest, compassion, and hope. Today's words were peaceful, healthy, well, patient, and love. So each time it's a little different. Jules, do you want to show yours before we finish the recording, and then we can
sure.
share online?
Can you see it okay?
Yeah, fantastic. Oh, to me, that's going to be so good with colour. Do you just feel that?
Yeah. So I've got some words in mind. So in my own time, I'll chip away at it, and when I know I need a bit of a break from the office, the at-home office, I might finish it off, and I can share mine as well. So
awesome. It can be something that, like, you can be on quite a serious phone call and yet you can still have your hand filling in stuff, but it can also be something where you tune out the whole world, put on some nice music and really get into it. So thanks so much, everybody. That's the end of our recording. We're hoping lots of people get to access this, as well as some of our other workshops. And I'll switch off the recording so that then we can share and talk a bit more. Let me work that out. See you, everybody.